Hello guys, it's Nigel here, Nigel's Modelling Bench. I should be calling this the B-52 channel really, shouldn't I? Today is Tuesday the 25th of August 2020 and it is 9:30 at night, 21:28 p.m. And 21:28 p.m, 21:28, yeah, 9:28 p.m. And I have been I'm obviously in the middle of my B-52 build for beginners, so hope few of you are watching that, enjoying it and getting some tips and tricks from that. To the more experienced modelers, I'm sorry, we'll have something more for you going on very shortly. So I've done a couple of videos already talking about B-52 noses, and I am finally, I think, done with the model collect kits. So as you know, you get the B-52 early H and early G has this nose, and yes, I'm repeating myself, I know, and I've made this one that goes on there, which I think is a much better representation. If you go over on ARC, you will see that I sent one to someone, they fitted it incorrectly, and then I got a couple of comments about it, or a comment about it not being correct. So I put out a video talking about that, and I believe it is correct. And I've got quite a few people that have shown a lot of interest in it, so it can't be that bad. So that's the nose for the early G and H there, and that is actually just a one-piece resin pop-up. You can see, I've noticed since I've done it, you can see where the join line is here. That's just going to need some gentle sanding. And I also want to say at this point, these sets that I'm making for the nose, they are not literally cut it here, glue it on, walk away. They require some modelling because you've got so many curves and areas and dimensions and stuff. And I don't know if you know this, but when you make a master, when you take a mould off it, it shrinks. The master doesn't shrink, but the mould, the parts you make generally come out very slightly smaller than the actual master. So when it's parts like this that have to fit on, it's quite awkward. I actually made this one bigger so that it shrank back, and it didn't shrink back as much as I thought it was. So I don't know if you can see on there, there's a very slight edge. So basically these noses are going to require some cutting, some fettling, getting them to fit right, and then you're going to be doing some filling and blending and sanding and stuff. It's not like, think of it as like a short run kit. It's not just going to be a bolt it on and walk away. Obviously the wing tanks, they'll be bolt on. If I do any work on the tail, that may well be bolt on around the tail planes. The undercarriage bays, they're bolt on, you just fit them, there's nothing to do. But basically this, and particularly the later G and H, which I'm going to show you now, they're going to need a bit of work. So that's the early GH taken care of, and as we all know, this is the model collect later GH nose. This is from the corrected set with the longer nose. I've talked about this before, and this is, I just don't like it. I just don't think it looks right at all in any way, shape or form. So I decided I would make something to replace it, and I have probably I've put about 60 hours, I reckon, into doing this. Okay. But I did a load of work previously, and I tried to get it right, and then realised, I think it was Dutch over on ARC pointed out that actually he thought the actual shape of the nose was wrong. So totally agree, and I've basically remade the whole nose, if you like. So there we go. So that's the B-52 G or late G and H nose from Model Collect. So I'll show you first the parts. No, I won't. I'll show you the nose. Now I think you're going to like this. I've spent a long time on this. This has been basically just roughly put together. I haven't done any scribing. I've just done some filling work and put it together, and basically sanded it and blended it in. And here we go. This is my B-52G nose for the Model Collect kit, and I've got it attached to the fuselage here so I can handle it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in front of the camera, and I'm going to hold it in certain ways so you can see it, and then you can pause and whatever as you look at it. Okay, and again, like I say, this set is not fit and forget. This takes a bit of work, a bit of blending, a bit of filling. I will do a video on how to fit it, and I'll show you the parts in a minute that I've made. But basically there we go. So that is the B-52G H, late nose. Okay, obviously with some more fettling and Mr. Surfacer in there and then some alcohol to remove the Mr. Surfacer, you get a much neater seam line. But I've just done this quickly just to check that it all works and it all fits. And this is actually glued on permanently, it's not held on temporarily. I filled in the holes in the top of the cockpit there, you can see here, you've got those holes there. I've just filled those in with plastic card and blended them just so it doesn't take away from the look of the aircraft. But there you go. If you want to take that shot or take that shot and hold that over a picture in any of your reference books, I think you'll find it's pretty damn close. If anything, I'm wondering if maybe there's a bit of an issue here with the shape here, but I'm not going to do anything about that. I've gone far enough, I think. So basically what I've done here, you've got this nose here is separate. You've got this part here, okay, it goes all the way up to the windscreen. That's separate. And then you've got these pods on the side here, these two are separate, and then you've got the rear parts of the cameras, they're separate. Okay, so there'll be a seam here that'll have to be filled. There's a seam down here that has to be filled. There's a seam across here that has to be filled. And then you've got this seam around here, which obviously you're going to fill the bottom, but leave a seam line at the top. Okay, so there we go. Any issues with that, if you could let me know in an email or drop it in the comments below. If you think there's any issues with this, let me know, because I'd rather sort it now than sort it later on. So basically this is what I've made. This is the lower fuselage part. So we've got the plug on here that's have to be cut off. You can see it's marked here, MC Model Collect. So you've got the plug on there is going to have to be cut off, and then, or you can just cut down the sides of it. This piece in here can be left if you want to. So that's basically going to glue down the back there onto the fuselage and there underneath the windscreen aperture. Then we've got the nose. Again, we can see Model Collect on there, and that's got a plug on the back that's going to have to be cut off. Okay, so you've got that nose there. Then we've got the pods on the side. Okay, I've got those marked right and left for you because they are handed. They have a different contour because the nose sort of falls away under the cockpit. So you just basically snap them off of there and then clean up the back with a curved knife, you know, like a number 10 blade, or 10A is it? It's 10 blade, and just scrape away to get them to fit in. Okay, so you've got those two there. And then you've got these two here, which are the right and left back end of the cameras, and you can see again they're marked with an R and an L, and that's the back end. And again, you just cut this plug off the front. These bits of flash here are just to help get the bubbles out, and basically they look like bombs or something, don't they? But basically you're going to cut them off, glue them onto the bottom, and then sand and fill. Now if you'd like me to do a video and show you how what I've done, I will sand all this off and show you what's in there. But there is a tiny bit of filler down the back here, there's a tiny bit of filler in there, and there's a tiny bit of filler in here. So the other thing I've done, the nose section here I think is maybe slightly too long. I think I fitted this a little too far forward. I think I could have come back about another millimetre, because I've looked at there's a drawing on IRC that shows you all the different stations, and the front of this area here in relation to the nose is correct, but if I look at it in relation to any stations behind, it's about 0.7 of a mil too far forward. So, and it also looks like that area there on the windscreen is too far forward. So basically you would cut this back, cut it in a little bit deeper, and then blend in on the sides here. Basically we're using this panel line here that comes down the back of the windscreen. You can't really see it very clearly there because of the primer on it, but this panel line here that runs down the back of the windscreen, we're going to make a cut forward of that, come vertically down, get rid of all these pods and everything, and then go across here. Again, leave the nose long and then cut the nose back. You just basically glue this piece into there like so, and then you're going to sand this back to suit this, and then you just plonk your nose on the front. But as I say, I will do a how-to video as an instructional sort of setup just for this set. So there we go, guys, and as I say, there it is again. If you see anything wrong there, can you please let me know what you think? And as I say, this is not, you're not just going to cut the plugs off, glue it on and walk away. You're going to be doing some filling work. You're going to be making it fit, which is why I've made these pods separate. So you can sand in and blend the sides and get everything nice. You can scribe your lines in. You can do whatever you want. And also you can make those stiffener plates that go in here from some 10,000 plastic card. You can make those plates and you know, and then glue these on afterwards. I noticed there's one set, I can't remember, that was DB Conversions. They actually molded those in with the parts, which meant you're going to be sanding right next to it and trying to sort out the seam. So I've left them separate, as you can see there, so you can actually fit them afterwards. But I think it's lovely. It's so much better if I compare it to this. You know, if you compare it to the model collected, it's not really the side view where the massive differences are. It's when you look at it from the top and then when you look at it from underneath. Okay, you can see the differences there. All right, so there we go. Let me know what you think, guys. I really looking forward to your compliments. And if you think there's anything wrong and I don't respond to you, and then I'm not going to block anybody, but just please be kind. I've put, like I said, I think I've put about 60 hours into this. I've made 4 moulds of this nose before I got it right. So I made the master, made the mould, tried it, I'm not quite sure, fitted it up, made it fit again, you know, made another mould, put it on, and the actual, I've got another mould I'm making now. When I actually made the mould for this, the actual master came loose from the bottom of the mould and floated to the top, which is why we've got that broken off piece there. So the actual mould is here, and I don't know if you can see it, but it actually floated to the top here. So there's, you can see there the bulge. I'll put my finger inside and you can see there's nothing. It floated right to the top. You can see my finger pushing up there. So yeah, so another mould is curing as we speak. So let me know what you think, guys. I'm looking forward to your comments. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.